Okay. You ready to talk about this?
I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Yes, I hope so.
All right. Okay, so you might have noticed over the last few months, we haven't been posting as often as we usually do. And the reason for that is we, as a family, have been going through a very big change.
And as always, our kids come first. So this change is so big that we know that it can be often one of the biggest changes in a person's life. And we wanted to make sure that our kids were happy, settled, content, and everything was smooth before we talked about it publicly.
And last year, after the big California wildfires happened, we thought we had lost everything for a little while there, and it got us talking about what would happen if we had lost everything. If that actually happened, what would we do? And the answer was we would travel.
Yeah, we would go other places. That's what we have done for years on our channel. Like any chance we can, we tried to travel, and we just realized, why were we letting things get in the way of what we wanted to do in our life and what we wanted to share with you guys and
share with our kids.
Yeah, I was about to say, and how we wanted our kids to grow up, like seeing the world, learning languages, getting to know other cultures. And so when we got home, we got to work. We sold everything. We talked to lawyers. We left, and it was a lot of work, like no joke. Like I was doing garage
that was
sales,
very simple, but like the description
Yeah.
was a lot simpler.
I was
than the actual
doing
thing.
garage sales like almost every weekend from March through July. Like I was out there selling things, trying to make this work, because it's a lot of work. It is not easy. It's not simple.
We got a lot of help from our friends and
Yeah.
from like your sister and mom. Like a lot of people helped us out too, which was great.
And also the kids were fully on board, which was like a big deal. If any of them had reluctance or other like thoughts about it, it would have been much harder. But they were on board, and there were obviously some things that we all had trouble with, like saying goodbye to. And we're here now, and we're very excited to share what we're calling Ballinger Family Study Abroad.
Our goal with this is to learn language, other cultures, meet lots of people, study history, and share all those experiences with people that may not ever have the opportunity to have those experiences, or who are interested in maybe someday experiencing that for themselves so they can look into it ahead of time. And we're just going to go exploring and learning about other cultures.
But we're not going to be nomadic. I personally don't think, at least I would have trouble living like a nomadic lifestyle with all of our kids. And I personally think for our kids, that wouldn't be the best for them. Every family is different. Different people do things like that, and it works for them. But for what I think is best for our personal set of individuals is that I think that it's better for them to be more settled, but then to be closer to opportunities to travel. So
yeah, we have a home base.
Yeah, we have a home base. And one thing that's a huge change for us in all of this is that homeschooling is not legal in all countries. I know if you're in the US, that might be surprising to hear, but it's actually not legal in a lot of places. So we aren't homeschooling this year, and the kids are all in various schools, and that took a long time to figure out, but they're all so happy. And I'm so happy about the schools that they're in and just the different experiences they're all having. It's wonderful. Christopher and I are back in school, and we are going to language classes. And Bailey is here living with us, and she's in language classes, but like more than us. So that's like her full-time job right now, is learning the language, with the goal of potentially being able to study at a university here in that language, or maybe somewhere else. But like either way, she's learning the language this year, and it's kind of like a gap year, but she's working really hard on learning. She graduated high school early last year because she knew we'd be coming here. And it's kind of complicated to come as a senior, because you have to take your final test in the language. And every school we talked to and every person we talked to was like, hey, it really doesn't work when they don't have the language, because not only are they learning everything they need for the test, but they also need to do it in a different language. And we found out from her school that she had the credits to graduate, because she had taken so many college courses and she'd done so much. They were like, yeah, you're already done, really.
She's like passed a lot of college already.
Yeah. So she graduated, and this year is a focus on language. If you're curious about all of that, just ask any questions. It has been a journey, but I do think that we figured out the best scenario for each kid, which has been that alone is a miracle. And Christopher and I, our goal is to learn the language, but we are older and slower and so tired from work and kids and everything. But we are in class and learning and in the environment and learning.
Yeah, we're trying not to have the expectation that they speak English to us. We will
Trying
speak
not
their
to,
language
but
to them as best as we can. We're learning.
At this stage, we are a little dependent on translation apps and other assistants. But poco and poco, that's all part of the process. And though we wish we had more language, we will get there. And this is part of the process and part of why we're here.
We haven't even said where we are.
We haven't said where we are. I don't know. I don't know
Where
if we're
are
going
we?
to. Maybe it's a mystery forever. I don't think it's that big of a mystery. Especially if you've watched our vlogs over the past few years, perhaps you've already guessed that we are in Spain. Even though it was more of a dream at the time, that was part of the reason why we spent time in Spain years ago. And this is actually a big secret. This was never explained or announced or anything. But if you watched us this last year, there was a point when Christopher was like, Jessica and Parker are gone. They're gone for 10 days and I'm not gonna, was it a week or something?
Yeah.
We were gone and we left Christopher and we didn't explain why or anything like that. It was in February. Parker and I were actually in Spain and I was making sure that Parker was comfortable with Spain because the younger kids were already on board and the older kids had already been and scouted it out, but Parker wanted a chance to be involved in the decision. So we took the trip out and
so far the kids love it here.
Yeah.
Like they love it. I love it. I'm excited about this next year and exploring and finding new things. Like I'm just so
And Rue
excited.
loves it. Rue's here too.
Oh yeah, Rue's here too. That's a whole other story.
She's
that's
actually
a
asleep
whole
behind
video
us.
on its own. Is
Yeah.
Rue getting here? We'll
that
talk
was a
about
challenge.
that. Yeah.
But she is here. She's very happy.
Everyone's like guapo.
Yeah,
about
everyone
her.
loves her. And that's one of the really cool things about being here is that she's welcome in a lot of spaces that she wasn't as welcome in our neighborhood in the US. So she's more able to go sit in cafes even, not even outside, but sometimes inside, which is wild, and go into more stores. And there's a lot of love for animals in this culture and for kids and families.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of kindness towards us as people from another country, as well as other people we've met from other countries. And we've met a ton of people from other countries.
Yeah.
There's so much diversity here, and that's been really wonderful
Yeah.
in our language classes and also in our kids' schools, as well as meeting locals. It's
Just
been
talking in a
wonderful
cafe,
experience.
you meet people from all over the world. Super cool.
Another huge change for us is that we don't have a car here. So, and that was one of the things we wanted. We were trying to seek out somewhere that we could have as a base that had a really good public transportation system. So not just locally, but so that we could also branch out and go to other places and travel. So we walk a ton. We use the bus and we use the metro. And then rarely we'll use a taxi or something, but I feel like we've only done that
Maybe
couple times.
Once or twice.
Yeah. Transporting a family as large as ours kind of requires a giant car, and that doesn't really make as much sense here for parking and for just driving in general. And we didn't want to. We don't like adding, for environmental reasons, we don't like doing that as much.
I was excited to try something that's totally different that wasn't even possible where we were living before.
Yeah.
A completely different way of getting around. I'm excited about that.
And it's been great. And it's great seeing our kids, our older kids, and even younger. I mean, Duncan, he likes counting the stops and things like that. And he has his own little bus card. And it's so neat to see our kids, knowing the system and feeling confident in that. Because I feel at least other people from the US that I know, their first time traveling, and obviously not people from New York who used to a subway system, but other people who have never used that system before, they get intimidated when they travel to another country, and that's the main way they're supposed to travel. They'll either skip it altogether, or it's just kind of frightening at first. And it's so neat to see our kids so confident in it.
Yeah.
And enjoy it and kind of have a preference. Some are oh, I only like the metro. And some are like, oh, well, I like the bus personally. So like we'll have that conversation. Basically, we're super excited about the potential for what we can share with all of you guys. There's so much history, there's so much beauty, there's so many stories we want to share. And whatever you're interested in, please ask away. Or if there are places you'd like to see us visit, where we'll have more access to places around Europe and branching out and around there. So it's just really exciting. We're so excited about the travel opportunity.
If you've been missing our longer form videos, we're going to start posting more now. Like we've got Luke's birthday was here, and we're going to post that. We're going to do Halloween here. And also, Bailey and Jessica have a podcast that's already like started to happen on a different channel. I'll put a link in the description. And we're going to start filming those here as well.
Yeah, the podcast is really fun. It's I think we're on our 6th or 7th episode. And sorry we haven't mentioned it here yet, I don't think. It's called Overanalyzing Everything. And it's about shows that we watch together, movies, books, theater, just nerdy stuff that we enjoy.
Yeah, they just nerd out about stuff. And I find it extremely entertaining.
And as Christopher said, Halloween here. Halloween is celebrated more in the US, but they do have Halloween here. And what I love are just like the slight differences. So hopefully we'll be showing that. Yeah. And the same thing with Luke's birthday. Like, I love how they do birthdays here. And
we went all into a Spanish birthday. Yeah. Like, we did it the way that we were told we should do it here. And like, he had such a good time. Yeah, and we had a great time too. It was great. Yeah. So we're excited to share that.
We're so new here, but he had so many friends come. Yeah. Like, it was so great. All the kids have made so many friends. They're so happy. And there are so many more friends to make, especially once we all learn the language more. Yeah. But it's just been really wonderful so far.
And there's also going to be a bunch of videos about things that we've discovered along the way and how we're doing things. So we're excited to share all that with you as well.
Yeah. And we're trying to do it as best we can to add to the community and to be a positive impact. That's how we always travel. Like, we try really hard to be respectful of wherever we are. And if you have any questions about it or anything else, we're excited to share. We're sharing now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you next time very soon.